I had a very nice reading month in October, and I totally forgot to do my wrap-up slightly earlier than just after the first week of November, so here we are today. But I'm really pleased with how my reading went, so let's have a look at what I did read in the month of October. Hi guys, my name is Kirsty and welcome to Upside Down Books. Today we're going to be doing my October wrap-up. As I have said. In October I read 5 books, which is actually slightly on the short side for me. I all year have been hoping to read like 10 books a month, and I mean, like, that was never going to happen. But I read some really good books in October that I really enjoyed, and I'm not really that upset that I only read 5, plus one of them was really long as well, so that's that. Usually I do my book haul and my wrap up together, but because my book haul was so freaking enormous for October, I've done a separate video for that, so you can go watch that to see how over the top I went last month for buying books. So we're just going to dive straight into it and have a look at what I read. The first book that I read was a book that I've been meaning to read for a while, and that was Leah on the Offbeat by Becky Albertalli. I bought this earlier this year, not too long after it had come out, and I've been meaning to pick it up, but just sort of didn't get around to it. And I had originally started reading a different book at the start of the month, which was basically what waylaid me into only getting to around 5 books, because I sort of half-heartedly read 6 pages of that book over the course of nearly a week before I decided to put it down and try a different genre. So I needed some contemporary. I ended up giving it 4 out of 5 stars. I really thought it was going to be a 5 out of 5 stars. This actually wasn't disappointing, but wasn't as mind-blowing as I thought it was going to be. I liked Leah, sort of. She actually wasn't my favourite protagonist. I much preferred Molly in The Upside of Unrequited, and I love Simon in Simon vs. Homo Sapiens Agenda. So I really did enjoy this one. I would definitely recommend it to people. I would give it as a gift. I don't know if I would reread it, but I still obviously rated it 4 out of 5 stars. It's a really good, like, emotional story. It's quite cute, very, very classic Becky Albertalli writing, and it's got me really excited for her newest release, which is the co-write with Adam Silvera, What If It's Us. So, a good book, if not quite what I was expecting. The next book that I read was actually Voyager by Diana Gabaldon, which is the 3rd book in the Outlander series. I've been making my way through these in audiobook format and really enjoying them. Once again, I feel like I just said I had an amazing reading month, but the sequels haven't been quite on point. Let's just put it this way, it was an amazing story filled with beautiful amounts of Jamie and Claire time, but the actual plot itself is much more flat compared to the other ones. It feels like a filler book. And yeah, I don't know, it was an interesting read. I can understand why some people that I know have gotten bogged down in the 3rd one, but I would definitely say push through, because whilst it's not, I guess, not the most exhilarating book, it's still good, just not exhilarating. It ends on a beautiful little cliffhanger, and I am so excited for the Drums of Autumn. I ended up rating it a 4.5 out of 5 stars, so I feel like that tells you just how much it is still enjoyable. And honestly, I was really impressed that I was able to push through this one and get it all done in a month, even if I was audiobooking it, because it's a whopping 44 hours in audiobook format. The books are huge at this point in the series, and Drums of Autumn is only getting bigger. The next book that I read was actually a review copy that I was sent, and that was of Shadow of the Fox by Julie Kagawa. When I requested this one, I was not expecting to actually be given a copy of this, but I was, and I read it so quickly and I loved it. This is definitely my favourite read in October. It was amazing. This is a Japanese-inspired high fantasy, and the main girl is a fox shapeshifter. I'm not gonna try and pronounce the names because I keep getting it all wrong, but it's really interesting, and it's all about different groups of people trying to collect different parts of a scroll, because when they put it all together they can request of this creature a wish, and people keep using it for bad rather than good, so the good guys are trying to keep it from the bad. It's just a really good sort of Lord of the Rings style adventure across the kingdom to save the world, but like a lot faster than Lord of the Rings. I really liked it. Really like this book. Can't wait for the rest of the series to come out, because if she doesn't write any more books in this series, then that's just cruel. I obviously ended up rating this one 5 out of 5 stars. The next book that I read was And I Darken by Kirsten White. I don't know why I stumble on that name every time I say it. The struggle. Now this one I was really excited to get around to, because so many people go on about how good this book is, and the last book just got released this year, I think, so everyone's really excited about it, but I just never picked up a copy, and I have so many books to read. I just knew it would be one of those books that never quite makes it to the front of the TBR, so I figured I would do it in audiobook format. It was a really good audiobook, but it was one of those books that I wanted to read faster than I could in audiobook format, so I decided I'm going to continue the series, the last 2 books, in paperback so that I can just completely binge it. It's so good, and I understand why everyone's been telling me to read the book. This is a retelling of Vlad the Impaler with a gender swap, so Vlad is a girl called Vlada, and she is incredible and feisty. She's like the next thing after Selena Sidothian. It's very, very exciting. Yeah, this was a brilliant read, and I gave it a solid 4 out of 5 stars. I am really looking forward to more action happening in the following books. There is plenty of action that does happen in this book, but I am looking forward to some more like super woman empowering action in the sequels when Lada can really start to shine. Now, the last book that I read in October was a very cute little fantasy called The Confectioners Gilded by Claire Luana. This was another arc that I requested. I did really well with arcs in October. I read quite a lot of the ones that I received, and I've already read one in November as well. This is all about a world where some people have magical powers which they can put into food, as in like when they make the food, and the main character has the ability to bake it into confections, hence called the Confectioners Guild. She's wrongly accused of a murder, so it's this whole murder mystery surrounding one of her cupcakes that poisons the headmaster of the guild, and all sorts of stuff goes down. It's very much so in the vein of, I guess, The Selection, in the sort of seriousness of the book, but I think it's perfect material to like kickstart you into some reading if you're in a bit of a slump or you just need some light-hearted joy. I'd recommend that one. I ended up rating it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. So that literally brings me to the end of my wrap-up, which is a nice shorter version of my wrap-up than usual. I don't have anything else to say, and I'm not going to do any updates on my yearly goals at the moment because I'm not really making good progress towards them. So we're just going to leave it there, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.